be extra special for you?
Yeah, I always enjoy signing day. It's always a lot of fun here at Clemson, and that was yesterday was one of the days where we didn't know on a couple of the guys, and so when you wake up that morning, it's like game day. there's a lot of energy and excitement to kind of find out how everything's going to shake out. But no, it was a special day and really couldn't have gone any better.
Yeah, for you, because you talked about when you were 9, 10 years old, you would ride with your dad to recruiting
Right.
trips. So you know what it's like to see your dad happy when he gets
Right.
to land that big recruit. So for you, I mean, yesterday was like being a kid in the candy store for you, wasn't it?
No doubt. And I think the best part was at the very end. We had ran off the practice field, and all of our coaches were up in the coaches' locker room, and we're waiting on KJ Henry. And really, it was one of the few times where they haven't told you at some point before their announcement, and it was dead silent in there until he announced Clemson, and then we celebrated like we celebrated in the locker room after the national championship game. It was just really awesome, and there's a lot of time and energy by a lot of the coaches and really support staff, and so many things that go into recruiting these guys for 2 years leading up to that one moment, and that never gets old. It's exciting.
The way that KJ did his announcement with Coach Murph, does that kind of give a glimpse into the character of KJ Henry?
Absolutely. KJ is a first-class young man, comes from a great family, and that's why we felt like we had a chance because he's a great fit. And that's the unique thing here at Clemson is Coach Sweeney and the staff have done a great job of creating a culture around here that is very defined. And, we can tell in the first 5 minutes that we meet a young man and his family, we can tell right there that, hey, we got a great shot with this one in the end, or you know what, he might not be the best fit. And KJ is a guy from the very beginning we felt like would be a great fit here at Clemson. And I thought it was great, too, afterwards, whoever the announcers were at the end, they said, hey, that's Clemson's getting a Clemson guy right there. And so for other people to be able to see that, I think really speaks. It's a huge compliment to our players in the way that they've conducted themselves here over the last few years.
How would you compare the physicality with Alabama's defensive backs to some of the others you think?
Yeah, I think they're a elite group, very similar probably to Auburn earlier this year, and also Miami. We had a lot of we felt like Miami was going to be one of the toughest groups that we went against, just watching the video. I mean, this late in the year, when you watch, I think Alabama's had 12 games. So you go back and watch every one of those games, and every single ball that's completed is contested. There's a guy right there in the guy's face, and it's just a guy finishing a catch, and the DB sitting there trying to knock the ball out. There's no freebies. And that's what the great defenses do, and the great defensive backs. They don't give you anything. You have to really go out and be physical and earn it. And so it'd be a great matchup. It's been a really good matchup the last 2 years, and I feel like they're just as talented this year. There's really no drop-off whatsoever.
Do you feel like that's something you need to talk to some of or that you are talking to some of the younger guys about? I know the team maybe didn't get off that big against South Carolina. That kind of stuff, he's going to see more of that kind of physical.
Yeah, we talk about that all the time, and really this late in the year when you start getting into these championship games, it's really all about matchups. It's just like our offensive line's got a big matchup versus their defensive line, and our wideouts have a huge matchup with their DBs, and so we're constantly talking that, and we're watching video, and I went back and showed my guys the last 2 years, all the passes we caught and the balls that we didn't catch, and why, and because you want those young guys, those freshmen that maybe watched the game on TV or was not there. You want them to be able to see it and learn from the good and the bad, because we don't want there to be any surprise whatsoever when they step on the field of how physical the matchups are going to be.
Speaking of those matchups, I asked Hunter yesterday about going up against Fitzpatrick for the third time, and he said that he was really excited about it. Of course, 2 years ago, Hunter was the kind of unknown quantity, and Fitzpatrick was a five-star guy, and Hunter got the better of him. How nice is it to know you have a player like that, going up against such an All-American like Fitzpatrick, to have the confidence that Hunter has?
Yeah, I mean, it's two great players going against each other. I mean, you go back and, again, watching the video from the last 2 years, it's a battle. and now they get the third opportunity to go against each other. And you know, I know how hard their guys are working. I know how hard our guys are working. You know, our guys know, Hunter knows he's got a target on his back, but that's when he's been at his best. You know, whenever on these big stages. So I don't expect anything less out of him this time.
Do you feel like you have to be more calculated